Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gifts, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome, glad to have you here. Oh look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure?
It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee? I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it. Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to my home. Welcome to the office. And welcome to the morning grind. I'll be your host. I'm Heath. So great to see you this morning. I hope everybody is doing great. I think I am still sick, but I did wake up this morning and I got some Dayquil in me. So I'm feeling better at the moment. So I'm feeling pretty good. So we will go with that. Whatever it takes. At least maybe I'm not sounding as groggily or gravelly this morning. Let's see. Yesterday night, it took me a lot longer. I thought to get the files uploaded to drive through fiction rather for the trial of St. Gabriel, so I can get proofs ready and done. I had to kind of when I did I did Goodnight Sword through that service and had to do a lot of reformatting, and it was kind of a one-off kind of thing anyway, because it wasn't originally set up and laid out for that format for drive-through fiction. But now, and I wanted to get back to being able to create what we were talking about, the standardized 6x9s. So I was trying to figure out what the best actual workflow to do that was. And because this was the first time I tried to do that, my methodology was pretty hacky. So now I know better about how to do that. So I'm hoping that it's uploaded now. So the printer is examining it as of last night. And that's probably not over the weekend, but the printer is examining it, examining the files. So we will see. Hopefully it comes out well, because I want to be able to create more of those 6x9 kinds of books. But I got to get the right workflow down. So I was doing that yesterday, and then this morning I'm trying to get a system going for Table Talk, getting more clips out and things like that. But I was trying to get that out to people, but I was having to download multi-gigabyte files and then try to get them uploaded to another part of Dropbox, and my there we am. Everything takes longer than you think. And this morning I'm like, all I was doing was moving around tens of gigabytes of files and trying to organize everything. So it was getting done, but just nothing's as productive as you want to see it. Hey, BGD, good morning. So it's good morning. Great to see everybody here this morning. We got BGD here. We got Stray here. Good morning. And we've got Lynn. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the first chat club. Welcome. Good morning, Robert. I was thinking we're going to be looking at seeing if we do anything with Chat GPT today. So I was thinking about you, Robert, this morning when I was looking at this. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Discord link. Yes. Thank you. Good morning, George. Good morning. Good to see everybody. All right. So let's go over here. I was going to say, let me share this. Stray's got up the Table Talk channel right here. On Sunday, I was like, 27 hours, but this is on Sunday afternoon, November 12th. Is it already November 12th? And this is already Saturday. Hang on just 1 second. Need to blow my nose. Okay. Sorry about that. This is the second conversation that I had with Cameron. Good and evil and storytelling. So this is going to be over there on the Table Talk channel tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been releasing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sundays for Table Talk in order to bring us back up to current. So right over here, second talk with Cameron, which we had all kinds of technical problems last time. It was a good conversation. There was a lot of good stuff said, but we did have a bunch of technical problems. So we said he would come back after the first conversation. And so that is re-airing on Sunday. So if you want to click that link right there, Stray's link takes you right to the Table Talk channel, which is going great. But then also right here, that link that I just put in will take you directly to this where that's going to be hosted. And you can hit the notify me button and you can be there. And we'll talk about good and evil and storytelling. The cultist is still going well. Yesterday, I put up my first. You guys asked for this. I forget who it was who asked for this, but can you do producers commentary or directors commentary for the cultists? And the answer was absolutely yes. So ask and you shall receive. Right. So actually, Brianna and I did shoot producers and directors commentary. And this is just the producers commentary you see up there right now. But I released that yesterday, 17 hours ago. It says. 22 hours ago, about what it took to create the cultists. So if you are interested in the creative side of making the cultists happen, what it actually took to produce a web show, maybe you're thinking about producing a web show. Yes, not only will the episodes be there, but the commentary for both me and Brianna will be out there. I might be releasing just those episodes during the week. So it might be next Monday before Brianna's director's commentary comes out for episode 1. We got one for each different episode. So that's my episode 1 commentary. So that's there over there. Stray's got the link for you right there. Come and watch the cultists. Let's see. So yeah, speaking of the trial of St. Gabriel, I think Stray put the link in there. But we'll take a look at the preview. We got 12 followers now. Oh, check that out. We have 12 followers for the trial of St. Gabriel. We had 10 yesterday. So if you would like, yes, the trial of St. Gabriel, come over here. That is my dark story of the Christmas massacre. it's a short story. I'm going to have it in both soft copy and ebook formats right there. And man, everything's running behind. It takes so long to get done. But that's coming out. And I want to make sure that everybody has at least the ebook copies before Christmas. Oh, and by the way, so we also got to talk about later about different projects and the order of projects, because I really want to do Rabavania. But at the same time, because we worked on that on the channel, but at the same time, one of the things I've been doing, and we've talked about quite a bit, is going back to the beginning, like taking a real deep breath and then going, all right, we got to go back to the beginning of all the different projects. Brianna's been doing that. I've been doing that because, we went, just, all helter skelter, and we're doing all kinds of things, trying to see what works and what doesn't work. But now it's time like, oh, okay, let's take a deep breath and go back to the beginning. And the purpose of the cultists was to try to establish a model by which independent creators could bring out shows and stories like the cultists or other creative things. So I was trying, and I failed at this in the initial release. I failed at this with the initial release. That's why I'm doing the re-release. But I was trying to do that with the initial release. That was its purpose. That was the whole purpose behind the cultists, was to develop some type of viable business model. Because if you want it to be ultimately viable, there has to be money, and there has to be some type of cash flow and stuff like that in order to make something viable. And I was trying to figure all that out with the cultists, and the round one didn't go so well. But hey, I'm down, but I'm not out. I'm still here. So we may talk. So it looks like the cultists, maybe, since I'm diving back in, I've been re-uploading all the videos. I've been re-editing all the videos for sound, then re-uploading all the videos to the cultists and trying to get them done. So it seems like actually the very next thing we need to do after St. Gabriel is do a really intense push over here on the cultists. And of course, that is my mockumentary web show about modern day Lovecraftian cultists who just want to worship Cthulhu in a world full of people who don't understand. And it's really good. We loved it. We had a great time making it, and we think it's really fun. So we're going to talk about plans later. We're going to talk about plans later. But I was talking with people over the past few days, and I think that might be the most viable path forward. So an intense focus on the cultist might have to come next, because if we can get that figured out, that would be great. All right. And then you can be here for how we're going to make all that happen, if we make all that happen, or I might crash and burn. So we will see. That could be, you get to watch whatever's going on here live. Oh, BGD says, Heath, you have exactly the right attitude to make it as a content creator. Well, thank you. Thank you. So I appreciate that. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it will work. So we will see. And you will get a behind the scenes, everybody's following the morning grind, gets the day by day, blow by blow punch what's happening here. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's do our morning reading, which is The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. This is maybe it's the second sacrament, if the first sacrament is in fact the breathe and sip. So let me stop screen sharing. Bring this back up here. And then add to stage. Okay, so first of all, let's take our breathe and sip. Everybody got your favorite beverage this morning? I've got Diet Mountain Dew this morning, but actually I do have it in a fish do not drink tea mug. So yeah, fish do not drink tea. I guess they drink Diet Mountain Dew. So the fish do not drink tea mugs. So let's 2 deep breaths, complete inhales, deep inhales, complete exhales. I always say that wrong. Complete inhales. No, I just said it wrong again. Deep inhales, complete exhales, and then take a sip of your favorite beverage. Let's go. And sip. There we go. Oh, yes. And both Stray and BGD have said, don't forget to like this stream to get the morning grind out to a wider audience. Yes, please do. There may be people who are on YouTube right now this Saturday morning who would like to come in here and hang out with us and have a good time, but the algorithm just might not be showing it to them. So I do hear for that in the comments sometimes, and I didn't think about that. So if you like it, if you hit the like button, then YouTube will push this out to more people, I believe. We're going to also have to work on getting some more people in here to the morning grind, but I've only got so much mental space at the moment. So I've been trying to finish projects, get Gabriel up and running, get Table Talk the system ready, and then we're going to take a look at the cultists too. A lot going on. There's a lot going on. It's too much. It is too much. It's too much. But got to figure out what works. Maybe in the future we'll be able to reduce the amount of stuff we do because we'll figure out what's working. All right, this is the War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Our reading for this morning is on the ego and the self. Here's what I think. I think angels make their home in the self, while resistance has its seat in the ego. Now, remember, resistance is everything that is preventing us from being everything that we could possibly be. And resistance, especially when it comes to our creative endeavors, whatever it is we are trying to create in the world, everything that prevents that is resistance. Like I said, if we were to create a religion, if I were to create a religion, it wouldn't be about sin. The opposition would be resistance, which is why I really like, and I got this from Stephen Pressfield's book. So we must fight against resistance. So he says, here's what I think. I think angels make their home in the self. Oh, you know what? I'm probably syncing a whole bunch. I was trying to sync all of those files. All of those table talk files. So if the stream wasn't working, I'm not syncing now. Okay, anyway, here's what I think. I think angels make their home in the self, while resonance has its seat in the ego. The fight is between the two. The self wishes to create, to evolve. The ego likes things just the way they are. What is the ego anyway? Since this is my book, I'll define it in my way. The ego is that part of the psyche that believes in material existence. The ego's job is to take care of business in the real world. It's an important job. We couldn't last a day without it. But there are worlds other than the real world, and this is where the ego runs into trouble. Here's what the ego believes. 1, death is real. The ego believes that our existence is defined by our physical flesh. When the body dies, we die. There is no life beyond life. That's what the ego believes. That death is real. When the body dies, we die. There is no life beyond life. 2, time and space are real. The ego is analog. It believes that to get from A to Z, we have to pass through B, C, and D. To get from breakfast to supper, we have to live through the whole day. E, every individual is different and separate from every other. The ego believes that I am distinct from you. The twain cannot meet. I can hurt you and it won't hurt me. 4, the predominant impulse of life is self-preservation. Because our existence is physical and thus vulnerable to innumerable evils, we live and act out of fear in all we do. It is wise, the ego believes, to have children to carry on our line when we die, to achieve great things that will live after us and to buckle our seatbelts. 5, there is no God. No sphere exists except the physical, and no rules apply except those of the material world. These are the principles the ego lives by. They are sound, solid principles. Here is what the self believes. 1, death is an illusion. The soul endures and evolves through infinite manifestations. 2, time and space are illusions. Time and space operate only in the physical sphere, and even here don't apply to dreams, visions, transports. In other dimensions, we move swift as thought and inhabit multiple planes simultaneously. 3, all beings are one. If I hurt you, I hurt myself. 4, the supreme emotion is love. Union and mutual assistance are the imperatives of life. We are all in this together. 5, God is all there is. Everything that is God in one form or another. God, the divine ground, is that in which we live and move and have feeling. Infinite planes of reality exist, all created by, sustained, and infused by the Spirit of God. All right. Oh, good morning. Oh, is it Veterans Day? I was seeing that come up. It is Veterans Day. Hey, thank you for the reminder, Jason. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. BGD says Ravenkeep is the continuation of the morning grind by other means. Carl von Clausewitz. I like that. Yet, and coffee and mugs are also down, or the mugs are also down beneath, probably beneath the stream. I have it linked through Shopify, so ravenkeep.net, but also the mugs are down below. And I still have some in my, a few left in my bedroom, actually. So they ship from me. Thank you, Stray. All right. So in the spirit of this morning, I was trying to get, now our third sacrament is our fact about the Roman Empire. And so since we were looking at ChatGPT this morning, I asked ChatGPT 4 to give me the best one paragraph fact it could about the Roman Empire, the wars of the Roman Empire you can provide. And it did provide a very interesting fact here. So here we go. One of the most extraordinary facets of Roman military history is the longevity and intensity of the Roman-Persian Wars, which persisted for an astounding 721 years, marking it as one of the longest continuous conflicts in human history. I didn't know that. The Roman-Persian Wars were 721 years long. When we just think about the 100 Years' War, like, wasn't that who was that? Was that John Oliver, who was like, wars can provide stability in life, and you might not think about that, but here, he's British, so he's like, here in England, or England specifically then, we had a 100-year-long war. That's right, 100 years when we fought the French. That was a source of stability. It's like you woke up in the morning and said, gee, I wonder what I'm going to do today. Well, I guess I'll go fight the French like I've been doing for 100 years. So I guess in this case, the Roman-Persian Wars also provide the same kind of stability. You wake up as a Roman like, well, what am I going to do today? I know. I think I'll go fight the Persians like me and my ancestors have been doing for the past 700 years. I guess that's just what we do. In the series of battles, which saw the Roman legions clashing with Persian forces over a millennium, from the Roman Republic's formative years through the entire lifespan of the Roman Empire until the fall of the Eastern Roman Byzantine Empire, exemplifies the enduring clash of two superpowers vying for regional dominance. This epic struggle witnessed shifting fortunes on both sides and profoundly influenced the political, cultural, and military landscapes of the Western Asia and Mediterranean, leaving an indelible mark on the chronicles of both empires and shaping the geopolitical contours of the modern world. Thus says ChatGPT 4, or GPT-4, regarding the Roman Empire and the Persian Wars. Good morning, Zero the Blade. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's go over here and let's bring up what we got here. Oh, right here. Okay, so one of the reasons that I wanted to take a look at this, I have not been on ChatGPT in a little while. We went over how to learn how to use it to potentially make scripts and stuff for movies, and it's like that was several months ago. But we did take a look at it on the Morning Grind a couple of weeks ago or something like that. So at one time I had delved very deeply into ChatGPT to find out exactly what it could do. Hey Keith, good morning. And of course Robert here on the stream and part of the community took a far deeper dive than I can, because he's also much more technical than I am in trying to use the ChatGPT interface to create a text-based adventure game. So Access Your Light says, I've been using ChatGPT as my solar RPG DM. Oh, you've never looked at it at all? But the reason that I wanted to go back to it and was the other day, OpenAI had its first dev day, which was for developers. Like the things that are coming for the development of ChatGPT. And it had some interesting things, I thought. Well, first of all, it's increasing the token count. I mean, two of the things that I really cared about were increasing the token count, which basically expands the amount of stuff that it can remember. Because I also tried programming some stuff early this year. Like, okay, can I use it to help program some stuff? Like I was trying to do a bot for Discord and things like that. You may remember that from several months ago. We went over that. And, it was actually pretty impressive what it could do. But one of the limits I had was encountering as far as programming, and people also encounter when they were trying to get it to write things, is that its context window was so small, like 32 tokens, 32,000 tokens, or something, or even smaller in some other versions or whatever, which meant that you would be typing and then it would start to forget things that occurred earlier in the conversation. But with this 128K tokens, I'm not sure if I've got that right here. We'll just see. But like 128K tokens they were talking about that you can access, that's something like 300 pages of text that it should be able to keep up with. Which, if that's true, that's pretty impressive, because now you're actually talking about a whole book, and that's not a whole library. You can't feed it that. But now you could be able to feed it a book. And I think that's kind of my understanding here. So that was big. But then also this idea of being able to create your own GPT. Now, a GPT stands for it's a wait, transform generative. Wait, what's P? Generative. Wait, what is? Well, let's ask ChatGPT. What does GPT stand for? Actually, let's go to. I don't know if I still have a cap on the number of things I can send per hour. So let's just go back to GPT-3. What is GPT? It's a generative. Somebody's already calling it in the pre-trained, generative pre-trained transformer. Yes. It has been expanded quite a bit, even in the free version that I'm using now. Yeah. So right now, in order to show you this, I did sign back up to get to GPT-4. So Innerlight says the next Chat GPT will be able to create images too, but it will have the same mortality or morality restraints that Chat GPT has. So Robert says it's like a penny per 1,000 tokens. So if my prompt has 128K tokens, it's $1.28. So Robert was talking about the expense. So the expense is definitely one if you're working through an API and you're trying to get these calls. So that's why probably Robert was saying this is too expensive. So you can have the 128K tokens, but it's going to cost you. Okay, so we want to look at that, but also so there is DALL-E. So we can do that. I was looking at this. I had not been on. I had been using Midjourney. I had not been on ChatGPT since DALL-E 3 was installed, imported into it, or accessible through it, and I had not actually looked at DALL-E in a while. DALL-E I had looked at like last year, but I kind of got on Midjourney and started using it. All the others as well. But hey, you know what? So ChatGPT not only generates stuff like we got my fact about the Roman wars here, but also it did give me ask for a picture of a cat in a hat, and it did draw that up for me. And I did say also, of course, because why not? It's me. I said I need a picture of a rabbit warrior in Anglo-Saxon armor in the style of a Byzantine mosaic. And actually, that's pretty good. Now, it looks like the face and stuff like that. That doesn't really look like a mosaic. The shield does, but it doesn't look like the body and the face were really made with a mosaic. But I got to say, I was fighting with Midjourney quite a bit about creating rabbit warriors. And I still have to work with that. I'm still gonna have to spend just some time working on what's the best way to get it to actually show what I want it to show. But I was a bit impressed by this because a lot of the times it would give me some stuff that was completely not right. I would say I didn't say like hybrid human rabbit. Sometimes it gives you a rabbit that's not standing on its hind legs. I would say that's pretty neat. Now we still have some weird, like what kind of weapon is this guy using right here? It's got some type of weird double-bladed sword with no grip, it looks like. So, and I don't see any way to like do in painting or stuff. But nonetheless, okay, I was actually impressed by that. I was not expecting it to be that good. So, okay, we can get photos here. Well, hey, let's just spin it again and see what happens. Yeah, that's what I meant. That DALL-E is being generated to ChatGPT, right? Yeah. So you would prompt it with the complete image. Oh, okay. Let's try that. Will you please draw a picture of a rabbit warrior in Dark Ages? Let's say that Dark Ages Anglo-Saxon. We're still having problems with generally armor and stuff like that. Anglo-Saxon armor, but what you recommended with the complete image in the style of a Byzantine mosaic. Okay, let's try that. That's also pretty cool. It's not exactly the type of armor and stuff. I noticed they tend to have trouble with armor and weapons. It's not as detailed as we want it to be, but it's because the general models aren't trained that way, and that's why eventually I've got to get to spending some time on just training my own models, so that we can actually have something that looks like the kind of armor that we want to have. Like I don't like. There is no way. Like what about this guy over here says Anglo-Saxon warrior? Nothing as far as I can see. Because like if you say, hey, no, I need northern Italian armor of the 15th century, I haven't found any of these that are able to generate that. So we need, because it's kind of like trained on the average of everything. It knows what something medieval is. It knows what medieval armor is generally supposed to look like, but there's but it's not trained on, I don't think, specifically like historical stuff. So we need our own model. Somebody out there may have already done it, but to really understand what particular types of weapons look like. So here's, again, I'm generally impressed with this. And of course, you could take these from here and put them into other things and do in painting and adjustments and so forth. So this is a rabbit. Dark Ages. So we specifically said Dark Ages. That to me is not anything approaching Dark Ages armor. Especially if you say Dark Ages Anglo-Saxon armor. He's got a round shield. That's about it. Anglo-Saxon armor styled complete image. And wait, complete image. Oh, I said in the style again. Oh, drat. Okay, let me try that one more time. Complete image as a. Then we'll move on, because I want to actually build out a GPT, but I hadn't actually played with DALL-E inside of this at all. So, no, not imagine. Will you please, with the complete image as a Byzantine mosaic. So there's it. Please draw a rabbit warrior in Dark Ages Anglo-Saxon armor with a complete image, as a Byzantine. All right, one more time. But nonetheless, that's pretty cool. I mean, if I had asked it for someone in, the 14th century armor, if it knew this was 14th century, that would be better. Like the plate mail, the hybrid, the transitional age. That's the word I was looking for. The transitional age of armor between mail and plate. I'm actually a big fan of that time period and that look. But if I say Dark Ages, I'm not going for that look. Let's see here. Oh, you picked up a fish do not drink tea mug. Thank you, Stray. I will ship it out to you. Lady of Pain says, if I was AI, you would have a hybrid database of all editions of D&D, and the D&D multiverse would be mapped macro to micro. What we call AI, just parse data. I think it's taking inspiration from the armor from Ivanhoe, which in turn takes it from the High Middle Ages. It could be. Yeah, well, I could need to do that too. If this doesn't work, you need to prioritize the prompt terms. A Byzantine-style mosaic of a rabbit wearing Dark Ages armor. If you have too many prompts, it can confuse sometimes. Okay, well, let's well, that one looks really cute over there. Yeah, that one looks cute. I would say that it's still not fantastic, but I would say this one over here on the left does look a bit more like I can see what looks like tiles inside the armor. It's still not nearly as distinct as what's going on in the shield in the background. It looks like we don't have it on the face at all, but I do see more tiling of mosaic-like stuff in here. Okay, let's try. I'll also see what Access Unit Lite does a lot of work with AI. So let's just try one more time before we go to trying to build a GPT. Try a Byzantine. Good morning, Dungeon Master. A Byzantine style mosaic of a rabbit wearing Dark Age armor. Okay, I got it right that time. A Byzantine-style mosaic of a rabbit wearing Dark Age armor. I'll say, please draw a Byzantine-style mosaic of a rabbit wearing Dark Ages armor. No problem. No problem. I'll get back to you. No problem. Hopefully everything is good. All right. Well, we're trying to figure out. We're going to work with creating our own GPT anyway. We were just experimenting with Chat GPT 4. Daniel says this is a lot better than what you were generating months ago. At this rate, it won't be long till you get the right kind of image. Right. I know, and that's why I'm generally so excited about all of this, because it's kind of crazy that I've been fighting with trying to get a lot of stuff done for a long, long time, many years. Oh, hold on. Let me get right back to that, Daniel. So wait. So now here we got. Yeah, like this is not. I mean, so a fundamental problem here is that just not understand what like Anglo-Saxon Dark Age armor, and we got this really weird sword thing again over here. But clearly over here on the right, we got a lot more mosaic. Now we lost the background here for some reason. And the background like is what clues me in so much about Byzantine work. But anyway, so we tried a few things. But yes, this is fantastic. This is getting so much further, although clearly not Dark Ages. It has a very generalized understanding of medieval armor that does have a fantasy element. Let me try fantasy armor. Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll try one more in a different style in just a second. But as Daniel says, this is a lot better than what you were generating months ago. At this rate, I know, and it's not even really advanced prompting. I mean, this is just trying out some stuff. At this rate, it won't be long until you get the right kind of image. It won't. And I've been trying to get this kind of stuff done in my worlds. What I've been writing and the art and the videos for years, and it's just been too big a project. And I've been fighting for years trying to figure out how can I actually bring these things out in the way that I want to bring them out? And it's kind of crazy that like right now, all of the technology is kind of coming together to be able to do it. And it's not like we're dealing with, 6 months ago's AI technology, even, or a year ago's AI technology. And it'll be another 6 years or 10 years before there's another advancement. If it's not quite working right now, it's kind of crazy that like, okay, well, it looks like in 3 to 6 months, man, it's really going to be kicking. So you got to come in here and you got to figure out what the tech is and what it's capable of. And when it's right to use. And like I said, another one of my issues is that because I'm trying to go from zero all the way to done, no single part of the steps can be too difficult, which has been historically the problem. Like I did try to dive into Blender. People are like, Blender, man, you can do anything you want in Blender. And of course you can. Like, I mean, you can make a whole movie in Blender. So Blender would be it. But the problem was that it was so complicated that, I mean, you can be a specialist in Blender, but you got to go real deep in that. And it's not, I'm from the producer perspective. I got to be able to go across the entire gamut of things that produces something. So we will see. Canva does this. I have not gotten into Canva yet. Tell it to use pixel art akin to Nintendo 16 or 8-bit. Well, okay. So, okay. Well, okay. Let's do a couple more since people are enjoying this. I did want to try. We'll try fantasy armor because it's not going to give us the right type of armor, but we'll see. Let's say draw a picture of a rabbit warrior in fantasy armor as a 1980s cartoon. Okay, fantasy or rabbit armor, 1980s cartoons. This gets the fantasy armor, so we'll just see what's going on in the fantasy armor. And then we also wanted to see pixel art. Draw a picture of a medieval, well, how would we just say medieval rabbit warrior as how about 16-bit pixel art? How about for a retro computer game? That might be too much, but we'll just see. Oh, it might not. Can I not send in multiple prompts and let it work? It might need to finish that prompt. Well, it's done with that one anyway. So this is the. Oh, this is the. Okay, this is definitely some fantasy armor. This is exactly what Rabivania. This is the opposite of Rabivania. This is the opposite of what Rabivania needs to look like. But hey, actually, pretty cool. I do like the face. I like the faces here. Like I've got to decide what type of style to go with, because originally I was thinking that it would be more cartoon-like. Now this is a bit bright and shiny and stuff like that, but and of course the armor's completely wrong in this case. But I like the faces there. Like I could totally see a cartoon that was animated with those type of rabbit faces. I could completely see that working, because I also do want it to be colorful, because it's, you know, geared more toward children. That's why all the knights have the bright surcoats and things like that. So it's intended to be colorful. But I got to decide about whether I do something more realistic or whether I go with something that is cartooned and styled like this. So they draw a picture of a medieval rabbit warrior as a 16-bit pixel art for a retro computer game. I was seeing that somebody was doing this and was like had generated some type of 16-bit like well, I picture like I'm assuming we're about to get right here, and then sent it to another generator to generate a sprite sheet, and then was using that to create a video game. Excuse me, a video game. And there's some kind of text to AI video game generator right now anyway. Daniel says, "What? I love it. This should be Rabivania He-Man." That does look like Rabivania Fantasy He-Man. Yes. Oh. Also, I would avoid using the phase draw a picture. It might be having that part because of draw. Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. So, well, there is our 16-bit rabbit. That's pretty cool. I like this guy. In Rabivania, once you get to later period, I mean, I would probably take this guy right here. In fact, I'm going to save that just for the heck of it. Because I do like that guy. if this were the later period, right now the rabbits are an earlier period than this as far as their armor style goes. But as it goes a little bit later, that would be a perfectly acceptable 8-bit video game, I think, for a Rabivanian knight. That's pretty cool. Okay, so don't say draw a picture. Okay, so what if we do say what Stray wanted? A sketch of a medieval rabbit warrior in the style of an old scroll. Phaser Risk says, "I've always wondered why human Hannibal hybrid characters never wear shoes. I get they have animal feet, but still, they're part human, and walking on rocks hurts." Yeah, I don't have my action figures don't wear shoes either. Now, sometimes they do, but the action figures aren't wearing shoes. But sometimes I do specifically say that they're putting on, mail over their, the mail chausses cover their feet, or sabatons or things like that. As for fantasy armor, gets Rabin chainmail bikinis. That could have happened. So let's say, so let me say not draw a picture. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. That's a nice style. I could totally see that. Well, first of all, this first guy right over here, again, I'm going to download him. For a later period Rabivania knight, there's something kind of weird with his feet here. But nonetheless, I would say that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So up here. So what if I just said, a picture of a rabbit warrior. So let's compare and contrast that to see if draw a picture is hurting it, because Inner Light says avoid saying draw a picture if you're looking for a specific style, because you have part of the image drawn because that's part of its prompt. Okay, so what if I just say a rabbit warrior in Dark Ages Anglo-Saxon armor with the complete image as a Byzantine mosaic, just for the sake of experimentation. So that's what we got here, but when I had the please draw a picture. So let's just see. Let's see. The rabbits jumping ability. Yeah, for the rabbits, yeah, especially if they're, now maybe the knights don't have to do that, especially when they're heavily armored, but the others would. Okay, okay, let me try this. At least they have normal necks. My AI images always have 3-foot long necks for some reason. Midjourney hates me. Really? Let's see. Okay, see, I think that doesn't work. I'll try that. I will try that, but I think it's not going to work because I don't think I have yet to encounter. Maybe this will surprise me, but I've yet to encounter any model that actually understands armor by time period. So a rabbit warrior in 13th. What did you see? You want 30? Yeah, I like 13th century too. 13th century armor. How about as a stained glass window? Stained glass window. And we'll see if it looks anything like vaguely 13th century. Actually, that might be a bad example. I would say this one is also better as far as its tiling goes. The face still doesn't have any kind of tiling, but this one does. You can see that on the whatever kind of weapon this is over here. Actually, that would be a reasonable sword, but you need to do some in painting. Just go ahead and put the pommel down here because it looks like it's part of like a spear shaft that comes down here. So we need to in paint a pommel over here, and then maybe take the spears off of his back. That one, I'm going to save that one just because that was pretty cool too. But so that was without saying drawing. I would still say the faces look a bit drawing like. It wants to make the rabbit faces drawing. But a rabbit warrior, this one might be a bad prompt because a lot of the stained glass windows have, I mean, this could make it a good prompt, but I know a lot of the stained glass windows do depict something like 13th century armor. So it might understand a warrior in 13th century armor. Oh, something is going wrong. No ear armor. Oh, wait, what's going on? Oh, all right. We'll try again, number 3. In Canva, I used portrait of a fantasy villain. About 1 out of 30 were super cool. Oh, hey, Belonius Monk, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before, so here's a drink to you. I found colored chalk on parchment sometimes gives a similar style. DALL-E has invented the sport. It's coming. It looks like it's coming now. See, another key to this, though, is what if you didn't really care as much as I do about how it looks, which is perfectly fine. Because like some of these things that we were looking at, rabbit warrior in armor, I mean, it's not like if we fix the sport or whatever it is over here. But generally speaking, I mean, that's pretty cool. So if you didn't have, if you didn't come into your project with as dedicated a vision about, okay, I've got to make it look like this. That's a disadvantage to my doing Rabivania because I've got a very specific vision for how I want it to look. And I got to figure out how to get current AI tools to get that. I mean, it took a lot of going back and forth with the sculptors and stuff to get the action figures right. And that's why we went through all of the concept art. I wonder if I can train based on what is going on. Or no, right here. So this is it. Okay, that is not 13th century armor. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. But that is not 13th century armor. I want there to be some stained glass window art in some of the books, but I got to get the art right. But if you're willing to work within the technology's limitations, what is going on? From the beginning, then you can start running with what it gives you. Which is why that's what I was doing for something like the Black Cipher. I don't have quite the vision of what it should look like, so we can just run with it. Gothic stained glass windows. Yeah. I learned it was the word portrait that literally framed the tool to project consistent results. Well, if you have low standards to get acceptable output, the software is not where it needs to be yet. So the software isn't where it needs to be yet. I mean, like I said, this is orders of magnitude above where it was 6 months ago or a year ago, especially. But it's so it's not quite doing what I want to do, but it might be able to if I am able to custom train it. It might be able to custom train the model, and I just haven't been able to do that yet. So that might be there if the model were appropriately trained. It just may be that, a lot of these things are kind of like the average of the internet. What is on the average of the internet? That's not exactly what I'm looking for. But I have not. I went deep into the AI filmmaking. That was like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. I need to do the same thing with model training. I just haven't had time to do it yet. Okay, so but really, my purpose was actually, and this is fun, was to look at this thing called creating a GPT. Create a GPT. Customize a version of Chat GPT for a specific purpose. This is one of the things that had just come out at the Dev Day. And I was like, now, wait a minute. This could be interesting. Of course, I remember like a few months ago seeing a headline pass by that OpenAI was trying to trademark GPT, because you saw a lot of people doing everything became a GPT. Everything became GPT. And of course, that's generative pre-trained transformer. I forgot what P was. I knew what that was. But I was like, well, but I guess they just want, a GPT to be their thing. But then now I really understand why that is and why they would want to trademark that, because they've got this thing here, this create a GPT, create your own GPT. So they want the phrase GPT to be the same as like Apple's app. The apps, the iPhone has apps. GPT has, or OpenAI has GPTs. And plus, they said they're going to open up a GPT store next month. So they want the GPT store to be the equivalent of the Apple App Store. So, and want you to create custom GPTs. I'm like, well, okay, that sounds like something I should at least investigate. So here I am investigating with all of you guys. Has anybody else played with this yet? Yeah, Lynn says, I'm definitely impressed with the rapid progress that AI art has made over the last year, though. Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, because it's not only the 2D stuff, but like I said, the whole film, video generators, it's crazy. Okay, so this says, GPT Builder. I'll help you build a new GPT. You can say something like, make a creative who helps me generate visuals for new products, or make a software engineer who helps format my code. What would you like to make? All right. Well, we said we want to do something about Dungeons and Dragons here. So let's say I want to create an AI game master. Now, let's say dungeon master, who knows all the rules of Dungeons and Dragons 5e and can lead me through a text-based adventure. Robert says, that sounds promising. Maybe I release a prompt version of game. of the game. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I don't know if this is useful to you at all. It may be, since this is not accessing the API, it may be something that is the years far beyond, but we will see. Okay, great choice. How about the name Dungeon Ald for your AI dungeon master? Does that work for you? Um, well, that's probably not great, but for the purposes here, we could change its name. But okay, sure, we will take it. Generating profile picture. And you should be able to share these out. So right now you wouldn't be able to, like, it says somehow there's going to be some kind of revenue sharing if you create ones that are used on the GPT store. But right now, okay, well, that looks neat. So that's our here's the profile picture for Dungeon Ald. It features a wise old tree with a face hidden in bark nestled in a mystic forest, a nod to the fantasy realm of Dungeons and Dragons. Would you like to use this image or make any changes? That image will be fine. All right. Well, that's what it Dungeon A. Maybe it is. I'm sure that's not Dungeon. Are you sure? No, it may be. So that okay. So well, okay. So A or LD, because I actually thought so. I guess it's supposed to be aid. Maybe it is aid. Dungeon AIDE. So it's trying to say aid. I think I would not have the E on the end of it then. Hey, let's just see if we can fix it then. Well, it's not important. Yeah, it's capital AI. Yeah, it's not A. Yeah, but is it an A or is it an L or is it an I? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be. Okay, let's go on. Do we want classic dungeon crawls, epic quests, or perhaps let's do epic quests. I wonder what's over here on configure. Oh, look. Okay, look, I can just change the name over here. So let's make it Dungeon Aid like that. No, it's supposed to be capital I. See, knowledge and upload files. That's exactly what I want, and I want to do more add actions, but I want to go through over here. It says, in terms of gameplay, how strict should Dungeon Aid be about the rules? Should it stick originally to the official rulebook, or would you like to have some flexibility for the sake of storytelling and adventure flow? In this case, I want to know. Let's stick to the rulebook because I want to know if it understands the rules. Let's stick to the adventure book. We could go the other way and talk about its creativity, but I want to know if you upload information to it, can it stick to it? Let's start with let's stay with the rules. Oh, okay. Artificial intelligence aid that thinks it's female. So aid. Gotcha. Oh, regenerate. We got some weird like things right here. That start an adventure. We need to start an adventure. Attack with my longsword. Can I use perception here? Tell me more about this area. When Dungeon Aid encounters and situations where players' intentions aren't clear, how would you like to proceed? Should it ask for clarification, or would you prefer it to use its best judgment to keep the game moving forward? Let's have it ask for clarification. I think these are pretty standard questions that it's asking you because I've seen people who go through this. Okay. Am I still trying to sync the Death Star plans or something? Not right now. Yes, you can upload information as a PDF. Aid is help or assistance. Aid with the E is a helper or assistant. So that's what. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought that AIDE, English are fun. Okay, so that's what it was trying to go with that. Obviously, it didn't work because I didn't completely get it. What personality traits would you like the dungeon aid to have? Should it be mysterious, enigmatic, or jovial, or encouraging storyteller, or something else? Let's have it be serious, serious and dark in tone. A serious storyteller, dark in tone. A serious storyteller and dark in tone. Yeah, it might already know the rules. That's why I was going to see if I could upload some of the rules, but then I want to upload. What I'm going to try here is to upload some other document to expand it or like to constrain it on some way. That's what we're going to find out. That's what we're going to find out. PH says, "Hey guys, I'm on the beach here. Just came to say hi and like the video. I'll watch later. Enjoy the beach. That sounds like fun." Okay. Dungeon 8 is now set up as a serious and dark-toned storyteller, ready to guide you through epic quests with strict adherence to the 5e rules. Please take your new AI Dungeon Master for a spin in the playground and let me know if there's anything you'd like to adjust or refine. How does that sound? Sounds good. I will try it out. Okay. I'll just click Start a New Adventure. The air carries a tense chill as you stand before the ancient ruins of Ebon Rock, a forsaken fortress whispered about in taverns as a cursed place where shadows linger and the brave dare not tread. For generations, it's a lot. A dark silhouette of Ebon Rock against a blood-red sky has been a symbol of dread to local villagers who tell tales of powerful artifacts hidden within its walls. An artifact that could tip the balance of power in the realm. You are part of a band of adventurers, each driven by your own reasons, a thirst for knowledge, a quest for power, or perhaps a debt owed to a shadowy figure from your past. A fortress looms before you, its broken battlements like jagged teeth against the horizon. We obviously need to have it come up with some way to create a character. As dusk falls, the ruins stir with an eerie quiet. You light your torch and step up to the gaping maw of the fortress's gate, aware the line between legend and truth is about to blur. Inside, you find the remnants of battles long past and darkness that almost seems alive, as if the very air reeks to smother your lantern's light. Okay, choose your path. Okay, let's try one. So we got a crumbled stair leading into darkness below, a dilapidated hall choked with vines, and a locked door bearing an inscription in a language lost to time. Go down the crumbled stairs. The crumbled stairs descend into the bowels of Ebon Rock, each step stirring dust that has lain undisturbed for centuries. The sound of your footfalls echoes off the close walls, a reminder of the silence that envelops the forsaken place. The torchlight reveals ancient stone worn and pitted, and the air grows colder as you delve deeper into the dungeon. At the base of the stairs, you encounter vast undercroft, where the dead of Ebon Rock were once laid to rest. The crypts are arranged in solemn rows, their lids carved with the effigies of warriors, nobles, and mages long forbidden. Okay, but it says, I got noises here. A sound disturbs the stillness, a faint scraping like stone on stone. It seems to come from a darkened corner of the crypt where the shadows are deepest. The dead are long beyond caring for their resting place, yet something has awoken in the depths of Ebon Rock. Do I investigate the source of the noise, call out to whatever may be lurking in the darkness, or perhaps ready your weapons and proceed with caution? The weight of history bears down upon you, as if warning of the perils that lie in wait. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's try that. So first of all, let's limit. Let's just say a single paragraph. Let's limit the the responses from the AI Dungeon Master to only a single paragraph. No, it looks like no travel to. Yeah, it is playing like a choose your own adventure. Yes. Okay. Let's say we also need to. The first thing we need to do is to create a character when the adventure begins. The AI Dungeon Master needs to prompt the user for all of the information. We'll just say all of the information necessary to create a D&D 5e character. But this needs to go quickly. Is this going to work? Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. I thought this would be fun. Hello, ID4L. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Here's to you. Okay, let me test the new setup then. Sorry, start a new adventure. Great. To get started on your new adventure, let's create a character. Here's what I need to know. The race. You can choose from races like elf, dwarf, halfling, dragonborn, orc, gnome, tiefling, and more. I'll need to know the class, background, and then we can check that out. Okay, what race, class, and that's pretty good. Okay, so I'd like to be a I'll do something bizarre here. I don't know, gnome. There's no race like gnome. A gnome warlock with the background of an outlander. Fantastic choice. Okay. What is your name? Reflect your character's moral compass with the alignment. It knows that warlocks gain powers through pacts with otherworldly beings. Choose 2 skills and personality traits. With that, those details will have a well-rounded character for your adventure. What are your choices for the categories? My name will be Grome. No. I will be chaotic good. My patron will be a great old one. Why not? My skills will be Arcana and Investigation. My traits are curious, but solemn. Okay. Innerlight says, can it generate random numbers and use them in a generator table or uploaded to it? I don't know. Let's find out. Starting equipment. Languages, special abilities, and warlock details. Well, let me see. Can you give me I'll take the Scholars Pack. See, another thing we do is like need to have some pre-generated characters. The Scholars Pack. I will speak Draconic. Would I like to select speak Draconic? Let's start the game. It didn't tell me what my stats were. I am ready for the challenges ahead. The adventure begins in the bustling city of Glimmerack, a place where the whispers of magic mingle with the clank of swords. Grom finds himself in a familiar yet uneasy situation. Okay, that's after visiting the book merchant, you've acquired a map that leads to the rumored ruins of an ancient civilization just beyond the city's northern gate. The ruins are said to be cursed and must be avoided out of fear. Do you approach the figure to confront or converse with them, seeking to uncover their intentions? I notice a shadowy figure from the distance. Does it just give me one paragraph if I say approach the figure? It's still giving me a lot more stuff than that, which isn't necessarily bad, but it doesn't seem to be obeying the just give me one paragraph. And then it is giving me, I could tell it to not give me those options, I suppose, and we'll see. No, so Robert says, no, I think this is to enter light. No, but you can do that on a website with API and JavaScript. I have no idea what you're talking about, Idle. I do not. Okay, so let's say over here under configure, though, we can start add conversation starters. Like I attack with my longsword. Like can I use perception here? We need to have like create a character. Choose. Let's see. Okay, I want to ask it over here. Can you print? What are my ability scores? Here's a basic set of scores that you might use for a gnome warlock using the standard 15, 13, 12, 10, 8 array provided by the player's handbook. It recommends the highest score going to charisma because I'm a warlock. Would you like to proceed with these scores? It's okay. Proceed with those scores. Create a character. Capabilities, web browsing, DALL-E image generation, and code interpreter are over here. I really want to work with upload files, though. So here's the test that I want to run. I want to know if it can run Rabivania. Yeah, it does sound like a Reddit forum, but I don't know it. Sometimes you'll have to reiterate commands or prompts and it will remember them again for a time. Yeah, I probably might have to do that. Yeah, with the rolling dice, right? Can you ask? Oh, well, hey, maybe I can. Please provide a character portrait for the for Grum. Let's see what it comes up with. I know. And it seems like I don't understand why that's not something that would just be there. Because it just seems like, of course, for gaming, the random numbers are so important. But also just seems like, in general, the ability to generate random numbers is important when you're doing programming and stuff like that. I was having that problem. See, one of the things I looked at a lot at one time is Bubble, Bubble.io. And I was trying to find out Bubble. I was trying to use Bubble for things and try to do games. And one of the things that it can't do random number generation either. not natively. Some people might have come up with some kind of hack or something to get done, but it's like, gee, I mean, let me generate a random number and then do things based on the random number that I generated. Hopefully you won't get another rabbit in not Anglo-Saxon armor. Maybe. Oh, well, there we go. Here's the portrait of Grom, your gnome warlock. You can see the curious yet solemn expression on his face, the scholarly robe adorned with the symbols of the great old one, the abstract representation of ancient ruins. Now that is ruins in the background. Oh, this right behind him that reflect his outlander background. It's kind of interesting that he has looks like a D20 hanging around his neck. That cute button nose makes Grom look like he's half gnome, half who. He does kind of have a who look to him. Yes. BGD says, one of the biggest problems I have uncovered using ChatGPT for GM assistance is that the AI often wholly ignores the specific particulars of the task you give in your prompts, even when they are clear. Random numbers are vitally important for gaming. I remember writing games for BASIC in the day, and the first thing I programmed was the random number generation seeds. Yeah. So I don't understand. I mean, it's so obvious that geeks want that kind of stuff, and these are the kind of people who create these things. I don't know why that doesn't just immediately usable. It's like having to pull in some type of other API for random number generation rolling dice is weird. It's not exactly, I mean, it's not something that is an LLM, so I guess that's why, but I don't know. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so actually I've got some additional, we're going to see if it can run Rabivania. We might go a little bit longer today, but it is Saturday. I got a ton of stuff to do, but I wanted to experiment with this, so I might as well experiment with this online with you guys. So what I'm going to do is come over here to my Rabivania RPG World Primer. Okay. And I'm going to copy it all. I'm going to make a PDF out of it. Okay. I'm doing this in another window here. But I'm just going to copy out of Scrivener because I was writing it in Scrivener. And then just saying edit, paste, and match style. Oh, that is not all of it. Hang on. Okay, now I've got it copied and copied it over. Okay, so it's 18,000. God, it's long. It's 18,000, but for reference, it's 18,099 words. Okay, let me convert this into a PDF and we're going to upload it and we're going to see what it can do. So let's export to PDF. Let's say this is just a test here. And I've got the 5e rules in it. We were working on both. So I've got the 5e rules in it, but just on the desktop as a test, Rabivania test. PDF. Let's start from the beginning. ChatGPT will apologize. Yes, it will be very polite about it, right? So, okay, I think, Jason, what I'm operating is I believe this is 4. When I'm back over here, we're going to start fresh over here. But when I'm over here just trying to create one, I've got the option to do 3.5 and then 4. So GPT-4 has DALL-E browsing and analysis. ChatGPT 3.5, it says, is great for everyday tasks. But I think that when I go over here to, hey, let's create GPT, that I think this is using 4. It should be. Okay, so let's try this again. Do I have my PDF export? This will be cool if it works. This will be cool if it works. We'll see what the current state of tech is. Okay. I'll call it World Book. GPT world book. Okay. So, all right. I would like to create a AI dungeon master that will run text-based adventure games set in my world of Rabivania, a world of gallant medieval rabbits. I have a world book filled with RPG information about this world that I want the AI to follow. Yes, you do have to pay to get to GPT-4. So I hadn't been paying in a long time. But I logged into it specifically. I paid for this morning, specifically because I wanted to know about the building out of the GPT. I wanted to play with this. So yes. Now I don't know anything about that. I don't know. Frederick says it would be ridiculously easy to do this using Red at Better Games Tarot system. Check out the classic game Crimson Cutlass by Better Games as an example. Okay, it says, great choice. An AI Dungeon Master for Rabivania sounds like a fun and engaging experience. Let's decide on a name for this GPT. How about Rabivania Chronicles to reflect the adventures in your world? Would that work for you? Yes. That's fine. Text-based like this, 9 swords, cross ships, and cross swords, roll 12 or better, and slay D8. Using Red at Better Games Tarot system. I'll make a note of that. I don't know that one at all. Check out Crimson Culpus. Okay, noted here. Well, that's kind of cool. Here's the profile picture for the Rabivania Chronicles. It features a stylized medieval shield with a rabbit crest set against a backdrop of crossed swords in a color scheme of regal blues and silvers. It looks great. Let's keep going. What type of actions and tones? No, let's make this formal and epic. Formal and epic, but also suitable in tone for late elementary and early middle school students. See what we get there. No, it's not. We'll take it, though. We'll take it. Says it's updating. I'm curious, like, well, I'm wondering if it's storing these things in some way when it says behavior updated. Because yes, we could just add these things to prompts, but I'm kind of interested in knowing what is the difference here. Difference between going through this and putting it into different prompts. Are there any specific subjects or themes that should be avoided in the adventures? Yeah, let's avoid foul language and sexual violence and situations. Though light romance is fine. Oh, I know. I kept coming to that. Like, I need to tell. Like, I'm wondering if can I tell it that, or do I need to go over to the configure thing? Because I do have this clip right here. Let's go through all of its things that it wants done. So I'm telling it I want to ask for clarification if it doesn't understand what people are doing. It does say start an adventure. I approach the castle. Show me my inventory. What is the king's decree? But yes, I got to give it this PDF. No, definitely remember. How personalized should the interaction be? Would you like the AI to remember previous choices and reference them, or treat each action independently? No, absolutely. Remember all previous choices. And reference them. Or eventually all this is going to be fantastic. Oh, I should have given it like a like make it PG or PG-13. Yeah, I guess I could have done that. Okay, well, now remember, time to test it, but hang on. Yeah, no, hang on. I have not given you my world book yet. I want you to use the information in the world book to create the adventures and the story. So I could just click this attach. And then, okay, I got the PDF of it right here. So PDF going right there. I have attached the PDF. Please adhere to it. Information strictly when creating the game. Now let's see. Searching my knowledge, it says. Yeah, it sounded like there was going to be some persistence there, so we will see. I'm kind of skeptical. Updating GPT. Maybe that takes a little bit to process. Like I said, that was just over 18,000 words. Updating GPT. Eventually, this will work. It may not be today. We'll just see where we are in today's world. It may be another 6 months. But being able to create things. All right, so it says, all right, I've updated Rabavania Chronicles to incorporate the rich details from your world book. It's ready to weave your tales of Rabavania into memorable adventures using the information provided to ensure authenticity and adherence to your world's lore. You can now begin your adventure with Rabavania Chronicles in the background. How would you like to start? Perhaps meeting an important character, exploring a specific location, or embarking upon a quest? So I guess my question is, what rules... what RPG rules will the AI or the GPT, the GPT be using to adjudicate actions such as combat? Can you use, because I've got the 5e stuff in there, can you use Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition? But only use the races and character classes, races, the species. I'll put species because we got species and character classes present in the book. Well, we're going to see. We're going to see. Searching knowledge. And updating the GPT. La da da da. Guess we should all sing a song. It's a shame that we're impatient. While this is supposedly it's doing it, we're impatient here. Okay. So we'll now use a version of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rules tailored to Rabavania. That includes only the species and character classes from your world book. Okay. The first thing I want the app to do is to offer the player the choice to play either a knight, a druid, a witch, or a damsel as described in the world book. That will be the character the player goes on an adventure with. Uses for the adventure. Stray says there's going to be so many players that finally get to use a character level 14 and higher. Most games end around 12 for power reasons. Yeah, or length reasons. Or length of game reasons. When GPT gets smarter. I thought originally you were talking about the power levels here, but I thought it was just because, hey, how often do you get to play like all the way through 20th level? I mean, people do, but it's not that particularly common to start at first level and actually go through 20th level. Then you should test okay, exactly. Okay, so that's where I was going. So let's see. What does it say now? Okay. All right. Well, see, but do we believe it though? It says Rabavania Chronicles will now offer players the choice to play as a knight, druid, witch, or damsel, each with the characteristics and abilities as detailed in your world book. The AI will guide the players to embody these roles in their adventures, ensuring all gameplay, character, and development, and the story progression adhere strictly to the world's lore. All right. I'll tell it. I'll test it now. And see what happens. Start an adventure. I need to be able to. I wonder if I can quiz it. I wonder where the best place. Well, let's just find what happens. Okay, so start an adventure. Searching my knowledge. I wonder. So if I can, I wonder if I can quiz it, saying, "Can you tell me what religion the damsels?" Did I say damsel? Yeah, damsel. To what religion the damsels belong in Rabavania? I wonder if it gets that right. Okay, it says, Welcome, traveler, to the lands of Rabavania. The kingdom, once united under the High King Aiden the Bear, now splinters as the rot of discord seeps through the great warrens. With the Magus of the Mist vanished and the Mirite matriarchs occupied with their political schemes, the old ways of witchcraft and druidism fight for survival against the encroaching oppression. Well, that does sound like the start of the way this goes. So let's right here. So when I said, can you please tell me what religion the damsels belong to in Rabavania? GPT Builder says, in the world of Rabavania, damsels belong to a quasi-religious order promoting knightly virtues and the faith of the mother known as Mirism. So, okay, that is the right answer. So Mirism probably would have been the answer. I mean, just like, what religion do they belong to? They're Mirite or Mirism, so that works. They are not ordained members of the Locked and do not perform ceremonies or rites as clerics do, but they are exceedingly popular and can expect hospitality wherever they go. The Magus of the Mist inducts virtuous magens who are strong of heart and devout into the faith into the damsels. Well, that's true. So this says referenced message 5 in citation, but is not a quote. Referenced message. Well, I don't know. What did I click? This is telling me something about the referenced message 11 in citation. This is not a quote. Huh. Yeah, searching my knowledge probably means hold on, I'm reading. Probably does. So, okay, so it did tell me that. All right, so that sounds good. And that this up here is, yeah, about my world. Choose my path. Do I want to be a knight, a druid, a witch, a damsel of the royal blood? And it tells me which one of these. Oh, it gives me a question, too. Will you enter tournaments if I'm a knight? Well, I'll just read these. Why not? Just see what it says, because I want to know what it thinks about my world now. Knight, you, a buck or doe of noble courage, clad in iron mail, astride your war fox, bear the heavy responsibility of protecting the realm. With sword, spear, or lance, you are the bulwark against the chaos that threatens these lands. Will you enter tournaments to seek honor, or will you patrol the borders, guarding against marauding raccoons? Druid, keeper of ancient wisdom and old ways, you speak for the spirits of trees, stream, and stone. Your knowledge is sought by many, yet you must tread carefully, for the Mirite faith casts a long shadow over your sacred practices. Will you travel to the hidden circles to commune with other druids, or advise the noble courts, hoping to guide them with your sage wisdom? I don't think any of these are words that I actually wrote. So it's come up with these words based on the world book. So at the moment, this is cool. Witch, in the shadowed woods, you practice old magics, revered and feared in equal measure. As a follower of the cycles of moon and stars, you create charms and potions for those who dare seek your aid. Will you ally with the covens to preserve your traditions, or will you walk alone, a solitary force amid the swirling mists of political power? Damsel of the blood royal, you, a doe of great virtue, travel the kingdom with your knightly escort, a beacon of hope and charity. Your connections reach deep into the hearts of Rabavanian society, from the highest noble to the poorest denizen. Will you use your influence to heal the divides, or will you seek out the truth behind the mage's disappearance? Your choice will echo throughout the halls of Rabavania. Choose wisely, for the future of the kingdom rests in the hands of its heroes. What say you, adventurer? Who will you become in the tales of Rabavania? Okay, I'll go druid. I'll play a druid. That sounds like fun. And it's not bad. It's not bad. I was expecting worse. I was preparing myself for worse. Okay, as a druid of Rabavania, you are attuned to the whisperings of the wild and carry the ancient knowledge of the druidic circles. It was 18,000. It was 18,099. I'll show you that briefly. So if you want to know what I uploaded, share screen. I'll show you exactly what I uploaded. Go over here. Share. So I just took an export out from Scrivener, because I built this out in Scrivener. So this is, so it had all the front matter in it, you know. That would be the internal table of contents that's not filled out yet. But the preface, we got chapter 1, A Call to Arms, which is all about, that current situation, which it did pick up on. We got information on weights and distances. There's probably some stuff in here about Easy D6, but rabbit traits for their, for your race or species, character classes. That's what I got in here. So about the knight. So this is probably where it drew from what being a knight is like, or being a, that's a lot. Being a druid. There we go. There's all the information on the druids. Looks like witches there. And then also the bad guys, because I've got the NPCs in here. So that's all it is. I was just scrolling by, but that's what I uploaded. So that was 74 pages. So it was 74 pages formatted like that. 18,099 words. Jason says, damn, I might be getting GPT-4 after this. All right, let's continue on for just a little bit. Now, is it a paper? Well, now at the moment, through the API. Now, Robert will know more about that as far as the API goes, and because you do have to pay for API calls. At the moment, this morning I just went back to its $20 a month plan. So I just went to $20 a month and have been doing, and because I wanted to experiment with it today. So that's how I signed up. So at the moment, I'm not paying by prompt. I'm just on whatever their $20 a month plan is, which can sometimes be limited. I know that months ago, like it was only letting you do so many prompts per hour with Chat GPT 4, or so many prompts every 3 hours or something like that. So there was some type of limit when you're on here, but I don't know what it is. And I don't know what it is when you're using the GPT. Oh, Robert says, I just plugged in my prompt and we got a wow here. So Robert must be discovering something amazing here. Okay, so as a druid of Rabavania, you are attuned to the whisperings of the wild and carry the ancient knowledge of the druidic circles within you. Your path is one of balance and understanding, seeking harmony between the encroaching realms of man and the untamed nature that teems with the borders of the kingdom. You can sense the unease in the air, the trees speak of darkness growing, and the rivers murmur warnings of strife to come. Now we do have seeking harmony between the encroaching realms of man and the untamed nature. So there aren't any humans in here. So that'd be something to put in, that we shouldn't ever encounter humans. But okay, we'll take it. You begin your journey in the verdant expanse. So that's something that it came up with. A lush and expansive forest that serves as a neutral meeting ground for all beings who respect the old ways. The expanse is a place of power where the ley lines of Rabavania converge and the spirits roam freely. I don't think that I specifically said anything about ley lines in Rabavania in that world book. Yeah. But I would think there are ley lines. That definitely sounds like something that druids would be interested in. So I definitely would take ley lines in Rabavania. That's something I would definitely write. But even here, you feel the tension. The wildlife is restless, and the plants grow with an urgency that suggests imbalance. As you explore the expanse, you have several options. Investigate the disturbance in the ley lines. Meet with a conclave of fellow druids. You have gathered to discuss the defense. Oh, well, this says the druids have gathered to discuss the defense of the old ways and the spread of the Mirite doctrine. Your voice could sway their decisions and strategies. I could aid local wildlife, or seek the counsel of a venerable tree spirit known as Elder Bark. This spirit has slumbered for centuries and is a repository of ancient wisdom. Oh, which way do I walk? Oh, I want to go to the conclave of druids. Inner Light says, this is an amazing tool for creative writers everywhere. An AI that can read and respond. To a complete text. Yeah, so that's I was hoping I was able to do that, and maybe if you're not trying to build this out, if you're like, I guess you could build one out that's like, here's this world book. I want to be able to have a conversation with you about it. That sounds pretty neat. Yeah, it seems like I probably could add a reading grade level too. Yeah, to that's probably a good idea. There's all different ways to calculate a reading level. So if you're trying to, and I want there to be different stories for different age groups. I'm thinking about that in a lot of different ways to help you create an adventure for at certain age groups, like a choose your own kind of adventure book. There's a lot that could be done there. Okay, I want to go to the conclave. I've got other things I got to do today, but I want to go a little bit further because this is very interesting and it's something I want to look at anyway. I want to go to the Conclave of Druids. You make your way to the Conclave, a gathering held in a clearing where moonlight touches the earth even at midday, a sign of its sacredness. The Druids, your brethren, stand in a circle, each representing a different aspect of the natural world. Some have the presence of the great oaks, others the grace of the flowing water, and some the fierceness of the wild winds. They welcome you with solemn nods for the matters at hand. Now, see, they should say the matters at paw because they're rabbits. So the matters at paw are grave. The conclave, see, I wonder if you could prompt for that. Like all the different things you need to prompt, like, hey, don't use anything that references human anatomy. Insert the equivalent rabbit anatomy. The conclave has been called to address the creeping influence of the Mirite faith, which threatens to outlaw the practices that have kept Rabavania's land lush and bountiful. As you listen, several key issues arise. 1. The encroachment of Mirite settlements into sacred groves, disrupting the delicate balance of your order has protected for centuries. 2. A proposed alliance with the witches of the wood, who share your reverence for nature but follow a more arcane path that some druids distrust. The fading strength of the northern ley lines, possibly related to unauthorized mining by the dwarves of the Iron Hills. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dwarves of the Iron Hills are in here, which could disrupt the whole ecosystem if left unchecked. So I also need to clarify that even though we're using the D&D rules here, we don't need any classic fantasy elements, no dwarves, no elves, nothing like that. So that probably needs to be something that because like when it said anything that we should not further situations that we should not have, I gave it some rules about sex and sexuality, but also like there's some additional things I want you to not talk about, and that would be like any traditional fantasy thing. Inner Light says, back in my teenage years, I dreamed of creating and making a small self-propelled robot with AI potential, though the knowledge for such a thing didn't exist at the time. I think we got there. Yeah, I called it Familiar, fully automated multi-user interface language-based information access robot. That's fantastic. Familiar, fully automated multi-user interface language-based information access robot. Dwarves the Iron Hill sounds like a cool clan name. I'm sure somebody has done that. As the newest member present, you have the fresh perspective they seek. With your understanding of herb lore, animal behavior, and spiritual communion with nature, your insights could prove valuable. Here are your choices. Advocate for direct action to protect the grove, suggesting strategic placement of protective wards and summoning of nature's guardians. Counsel caution and diplomacy, pursuing envoys to negotiate with the Mirite leaders and the dwarven clans for mutual understanding. Recommend a ritual to strengthen the ley lines, which would require a rare conjunction of celestial events and the collective effort of all druids present. The elders turn to you, awaiting your counsel. What do you propose? Well, first, let's take direct action to protect the groves. Your voice resonates with firm conviction as you address the gathered conclave. You speak to the immediate need to protect sacred groves with more than just words or negotiations. The groves are not only a source of spiritual power, but serve as sanctuaries of the wildlife and repositories of ancient knowledge. You propose the creation of protective wards and the summoning of nature's guardians to deter any further encroachment. So now we must gather the necessary components for the wards. Rare herb stones charged with ley line energy. Oh, so we're bringing the ley lines back in here. We might have to revitalize the ley lines in order to get stones charged with their energy, and pure water from the springs. We got to commune with the animals and conduct a ritual to awaken the ancients. Which task will I undertake first? All right. Well, I mean, this is interesting. I'm glad that I did this. When I saw the developers, I watched the developers conference keynote address on YouTube. So you may want to check that out. Look up OpenAI developers conference address. They were going through different things. As I understand it down here with configure. Okay, so it did put knowledge, so I could upload some other files over here. So it put my Rabivania GPT world book in the knowledge over here. I can add actions. It says use conversation data in your GPT to improve our models. I guess I could turn that off or on, but also add actions. These actions over here, let your GPT retrieve information or take actions outside of GPT. So one of the things that they were doing was like enter your OpenAI schema here. And so I don't know how to do this. Examples, get weather data, OpenAI profile, untitled, authentication. Like they were connecting it with Zapier, so that you can go and have it do certain things. Like if you want it to access your calendar, or if you want it to add certain things to your calendar, or text message somebody, or connect it with other things that you want it to do. I mean, this is probably going to be really interesting, since now we're also to the point where not only can you converse with it, but you can take actions outside of ChatGPT. Hey, I'll click learn more so we can just see what that is. We're rolling out access to GPTs so how to create a GPT, advanced settings, custom actions right here. You can make third-party APIs available to your GPT by providing details about the endpoints, parameters, and a description of how the model should use it. Actions for GPTs can also be imported from an OpenAI schema. So if you've already built a plugin, you'll be able to use your existing plugin manifest to define actions for your GPT. I'm not sure what I would do with that at the moment. Well, although I wonder if like a dice roller then. So can I as a custom action, can I connect to a dice roller specifically and then use that information? I don't know. I would have to dig into this even further. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow. But I don't know how to use this. Now, Robert probably does. Authentication, none, API key, 0 auth, privacy policy, enter your OpenAI schema here. Import from URLs. I don't have enough time to get into this right now. But okay, but there's also some way to reach outside of ChatGPT and have it access and do things in the world. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, me too. Yeah, it could be. So, all right, but that's where we got today. I thought that was cool. So thank you very much, everybody, for hanging with me. And anybody who watches on replay, thank you very much for hanging out as well. Please do hit the like button. And this way we go out to other people who might like to see this stream and be a part of it. That would be fantastic. All right, but there's lots of stuff to do today. So I'm going to get out of here. Meantime, everybody, go forth, be creative, be constructive, and grind on. I'll see you tomorrow. Later, everybody.